After our fun-filled day in Kyoto, that next morning we got back on the bullet train and headed to Kawaguchiko, a small city at the base of Mount Fuji. This area was breathtaking and truly my favorite part of the country. Come with us on our train ride to get to Mount Fuji. Just arrived at the Mount Fuji station.
What were you saying?
We're stopping at a good here. We're going camping too.
Although unfortunately we didn't go hiking up Mount Fuji like Nick wanted, we did stay at the most beautiful Airbnb that was designed as a traditional Japanese ryokan. The only issue was we had to walk 1,000 kilometers just to get there. We then stopped for a delicious lunch where we actually got to try horse. Take a look. After lunch, we then took the train to the city center. Here we explored the streets, of course did some photo shoots at Finn's request, and finally got Finn her matcha ice cream. We then took the long trek to the top of the lookout point in hopes to see Mount Fuji in all its glory.
Finally got her matcha ice cream. What's your rating? Tell the fans.
What? Probably like a 8.5.
It's
Pretty good. Pretty high quality. Not what I was expecting, but it's still good.
You heard it there, folks. Go to this place to get her matcha ice cream.
What happened?
Sticky.
No! Find the lid, quick. You're literally standing in the middle of the road.
Okay, delicious.
Oh, good thing the charger wasn't in the front pocket, eh?
Later.
What's that? Oh my god. You just Uh-oh. Now you're gonna have some gum. Is there sunscreen on there?
Maybe. All four.
Huh?
No sunscreen.
Okay, let's go.
We then finally made it to the lookout point where we began our hike up the huge hill to finally catch the full glimpse of Mount Fuji.
Almost there.
Sorry, almost there.
go.
After climbing for what felt like forever, we finally made it to the top. Unfortunately, the clouds were still covering Mount Fuji, but we were hopeful that maybe if we waited and prayed just hard enough, we would be blessed with a surprise.
I'm taking a video. Also. Maybe turn around. That's not supposed to be there.
Okay, everybody, we finally made it to the top.
Up 100 flight of stairs.
There it is. Nice background music.
The clouds finally cleared.
After just sitting and watching Mount Fuji for hours, when the sun had finally went down behind its tall peak, we went back into the town to grab some dinner. Even though it was 14 degrees Celsius, Finn was so cold she could no longer speak. Nick had been craving takoyaki the whole trip, and so he finally got some at an American fusion restaurant. Since it was American fusion, it didn't really taste the same, but Nick was so hungry he didn't care. As always though, Finn made them take pictures of the food first before they could eat it. The steam.
Oh, it is steamy. How is it?
We're good.
Compared to the homemade one?
I think the homemade one wins, actually. It was unlimited at home.
Finally, after a long day, we went back to the Airbnb for our final night in Japan. Since this was a tiny traditional home, it had a very small water tank to supply the whole house. In classic Finn fashion, she took the longest shower ever and made Nick suffer the coldest, most brutalist shower he had ever had in his entire life. We then laid out our traditional cushions and blankets on the floor and cuddled up close, for the first time on that trip, to have our last sleep in Japan. In the morning we'd awake and get ready to head to Thailand. The next morning, Nick woke early to catch the sunrise over Mount Fuji, as Finn, of course, slept in. We took our time getting ready that morning, taking in the beautiful view in our room, and saying goodbye to all the wonders of Japan. This had truly been my favorite spot in the entire country due to its beauty, tranquility, and calming nature. We then got packed up and caught a lift to the train station where we boarded to head to the airport. We then finally arrived at the airport and checked in for our flight to Bangkok. We had a final meal in Japan and got buckled up for our next adventure. As we took off, I couldn't help but reflect on all we had done and just how much Japan had truly changed my life. To this day, Japan remains one of my most favorite places I've ever visited. I can't wait until we're back in Japan together once again.